What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Cookie Dao today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys, and let's get into it. All right, it is the 28th day of June. Here we are at about 1.65 cents with 21 hours and 50 minutes left in the day. Moving down systematically, lower and lower, day by day. Actually, yesterday, I guess, was a little bit of a green day, if we're being fair. Looking at the RSI, I'm not hopeful that we bounce from here and that we continue to grow. I am considering that we do go lower. Maybe we get a double bottom off the oversold zone. Maybe we get a lower low and then we find some bullish divergence or something like that, whatever, and then we break out. But I would definitely expect that we go lower than this here, right? Lower than the current prices, lower than this low even. We'll see, right? If we're looking at this from an overall low here, on the 7th day of April to the high on the 26th of May. Low to high there. Going to the 0.5, rejecting the 382 right here, likely will take us down to the golden ratio, which is all the way down at 13.25 to 11.76 cents. Something in that zone there is what I'm anticipating. Okay, something in that zone right there. If we're looking at this, actually, I want to put some lines right there. Let's just see. Lines. Come on now. Right there, and if we delete the fib, okay, and we look back, we're on Bybit, so we have all the history we need. Support and resistance in this area. Support in this area. Support just above this area. Resistance right here just above this area as well. We go back even further in time, and we see, boom, resistance right here in this area as well. It's very possible, because we have resistance just above the golden ratio, which is that top white line there, that we do find support just above it. We can front run the golden ratio. It does happen, especially with cryptos that are highly anticipated projects, highly sought after projects, in which I think we're dealing with one here. It's very possible that we don't reach the golden ratio officially, but I think 13.3 cents is still a considerable target, even just below there. Something below 14 cents at the very least, right? We're at 16.5 cents now. If Cookie Dao is going down, guys, I would assume that the average crypto is also probably going to go down soon. I think that Bitcoin's going to go down. Let's rationalize this real quick, right? I think that we are going to see a little bit of a drop in the markets here, but a little bit, nothing crazy, right? I mean, for Cookie, 20%, that's a lot. It definitely is a lot, right? Nobody wants to sit through a 20% drop, but that's not promised, right? It's definitely not promised. We are, relatively speaking, at very optimal times to buy Cookie Dao, being here at 16.4 cents. I do think, if I'm being honest with myself, we're going to get below 14 cents here, but a 20% drop seems a bit intense. If Bitcoin were to drop to where I think it's going to drop, which is about 104, just below there, maybe just above. I mean, if Bitcoin were to drop about 3% and Cookie drops 20%, I just think that'd be crazy. Maybe I'm wrong in my theory about Bitcoin. Maybe it does drop down to like 96, 95K, something like that. And if Bitcoin drops 10 to 11%, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense then that Cookie Dao would drop 20%, right? If Bitcoin drops 1%, altcoins drop 2%, right? That's kind of how the working theory goes. At any rate, regardless of Bitcoin taking that out of the equation again, looking at this here, lower lows, all this, I feel like it just lines up perfectly with this area that we would find support right there. Amidst other reasons going back, it looks kind of perfect. Just because it looks perfect doesn't mean it has to happen, but I'm just saying. It does look kind of perfect. Let's look at this from a relative low to high here. Low to high here. Gotta love it, right? I love the serendipity that the fibs give us sometimes. Low to high. 2272 support, 1272 resistance, and down, right? The 2272, the 1272, the 272s are getting their significance in, man. We'd probably go to the next fib, which is the 2618 at 13.22 cents. I don't make the rules, but man, it looks like that's the area we're going to go to. I don't think we go below that. But that's very compelling evidence right there. I think it is, at least. Let's look at the short-term time frames, and then we'll zoom back out, all right? 1 hour time frame here. Looking at the 1 hour. Oh, do we have hidden bearish divergence? I think we do. Yeah. Right. We kind of like this look, though. Most of the time. I don't think this is hidden bearish divergence, but what I don't like is you are getting higher highs here in the RSI, and you're not really going anywhere in the price, right? You're not getting higher highs. Like, yes, technically this is a higher high, but really it's like you're just getting the same highs over and over again. Whenever you do that, whenever you get higher readings in your RSI, but you're not going anywhere in the price, it's actually a bearish thing, not a bullish thing. The 1 hour RSI overall right now is more bearish than bullish anyways. Rejecting the 60 is not a good look. Getting oversold, not getting overbought, not a good look. I do like flat tops with ascending lows. I like that, but I don't think this. I think this is one of those exceptions where it doesn't really matter. High to low here. Prove me wrong. You know, if you get above 17 cents, maybe we don't go lower. Maybe I'm wrong. If you can get above 17 cents, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I'll be wrong. I'm not going to make a call because I think I'll be wrong about it, right? It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. By the way, if you're trading, understand this, guys, and like really you have to believe this, okay? It's not just something that you hear and then you just don't apply it to yourself. You have to believe this. If you're trying to be a successful trader, understand it's not about being right and wrong, okay? You can start with $100, $1,000, $100,000, whatever. Whittle down 50% of it, and as long as you have good risk management, hopefully you wouldn't whittle down 50%, but let's just say you were wrong like 100 times in a row. And which would suck. Your TA just didn't help you. You're reading everything wrong, but you have good risk management. You're wrong 100 times in a row. Whittle down 50%, right? And you got half your bag now. If you can just be right once and do it well, right, and you have some capital left over, you can make back all of that loss and then some. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about being right or wrong. It's like really the message, the main message there is, if you're trying to be a successful trader, you want to get into trading, understand that it's not about being right and wrong. It's about risk management. It's all about risk management, okay? That implies cutting losses, having a game plan to take losses, because technical analysis is not perfect, right? I say that and people are like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Technical analysis isn't perfect. It's all statistics. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If you do it right, hopefully most of the time it does work instead of most of the time it doesn't work. But if you're going into this willfully knowing and aware that technical analysis will fail at times, even if the odds are in your favor, it will fail at times, then that means you have to have contingency plans for when that happens, for when it leads you astray, right? And in this case, I'm talking about the price going down. For me, the contingency would be if we get above these highs here. Sorry, it's not that low to high. It wasn't this one. It was this high to low. If we get above this 382 here, which is at about 17 cents, then I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. You know, I would think that we're probably going to move up higher, and that would potentially look good. We'd reverse a lot of these negative looks on the 1 hour time frame, and then promote some good stuff on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. You know what I mean? But overall, right now, looking at the 4 hour RSI, getting back to work here, we are finding resistance. Not even in the overbought zone, below it, we are getting oversold. Bearish, more so bearish. How else do we know this is bearish, right? If you're having a hard time getting overbought, but not a hard time getting oversold, that's bearish. What else about this is bearish? Well, if we put a line right here, a little game, and you circle the amount that is above the 50, and you compare it to the amount of RSI that's below the 50, which one's the winner? It's the downside. That means it's more bearish than bullish, right? We've got a more bearish, yeah, we got higher lows, but it's more bearish than bullish, guys. We also have higher highs here and higher lows. And how well has that worked out for us, right? Probably going lower is my expectation. And then again, if we take this low to high, 13.6 cents is right there. 12.4 cents, but I think we'd find support right at the 1272, right? We've been showing significance at the 1272, the 2272. Maybe we show significance at this 1272 as well. Bearish to the downside, okay? Just a little bit, though. Nothing crazy. 20% is kind of intense, I guess, for some people, but nothing crazy. Nothing too crazy. That's pretty standard for crypto. If you can't handle a 20% drop, man, you're in the wrong business, that's for sure. This is crypto. You need to be able to wake up, see your portfolio 20% in the red, and smile on your face, man. Eat your breakfast, have a good workout. Don't take it out on anybody, right? Buy more even, right? It should encourage you to buy more, actually. Let's see. Whenever we do move up higher, which I think will be soon enough, and by the way, if we were to go lower than my expectations, I think 12.6 cents would hold. I think that 236 here at 12.6 cents would hold, okay? If we were to go lower than 13.6 or 13.2 cents, whatever it was, that would be like the lowest that I'd expect. When it is time to go higher, okay, being that we've already interacted with the golden ratio, my expectation would be that this next move takes us all the way up to the 786, 886. Imagine, guys, and this is where it gets tricky, okay? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but that 786, 886 is at 50 to 63 cents, okay? Imagine you're back here and you had the opportunity, you're looking at the price right now over here, and you could have bought down here, right? You didn't, Maybe you bought the top. Maybe you wish you bought the low right here, but you didn't. We're at that same exact area now. We're literally at that same area now. And again, this is what makes it tricky because it's like, do I buy here if I know it's going to go down, but like we're still going to get this? This could happen any day. I mean, that only took like 3 days really to get up to 32 cents. We're at 16 cents now. 3 days from now, 100%. That sounds good, right? I mean, what if I'm wrong? What if we don't go lower? We just move higher from here. Still have higher lows, relatively speaking, right here. Lower lows overall, I guess. Lower highs overall. But anyways, not only would you, if you could, going back in time, if you were here, not only would you go back to this price to buy so that you could catch that pump, but we're in a situation now where we might go even lower, and then the end result is even higher. You know what I mean? Like if you were bullish on it back here, if this move was enough to get you excited about Cookie Dow, this next move is going to blow you away, man. It's going to be fantastic. And it doesn't stop there, right? That might be a momentary stopping point right there. But I would think that we do continue onward and upward. We'll probably see prices at $1.65 to $3.90, something like that. If not by the end of July, probably sometime in August. That's my expectation. I don't really have anything else that I want to say, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. I very much do believe Cookie Dow has a lot of potential this cycle. I think that it'll go even above those prices there that we just discussed. You'll likely see targets. I say likely. My expectation is that we will likely see targets around $20 to $100, somewhere in that range. It's a big range, 20 to 100, but it's also a lot of gains, especially from 16.5 cents here, maybe even 13 cents at the low that we're searching to find here over the coming days. So that's all I got. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.